Introducing Harry Houdini with his latest trick.
Dang nabbit, not again.
Do you need some help with that?
Coltrane, this isn't helping.
You fools, you use f of x equals sine of theta times pi squared x times the arc cosine of 3 over 2 all over 2i.
Desartes, no one knows what that means.
Here, let me.
Ta-da! And now for a new trick, one to amaze.
Or Michelangelo, Desartes, Houdini. Shall we take a seat?
Michelangelo, what took you so long to arrive tonight?
It's pronounced Michelangelo, and I was busy visualizing my next great creation, the sculpture of an adolescent monstrosity hero amphibian. Does anyone else visualize alone in silence, or is it just me?
We can all agree that our greatest accomplishments are achieved through our time in solitude. Coltrane, how has your time alone improved your accomplishments in jazz?
In my time alone, I accomplished many things. When I was able to create a sound for myself, which is now known as the sheets of sound. The way I see it is I start in the center of the sentence and move both directions at once. I also made many mistakes while being alone for so long. As a result of being in solitude, I became bored and had to keep myself occupied by dabbling in experiments such as heroin. This did help with the creative process when writing music, but hurt me greatly when trying to get a job with a new band. How are your masterpieces made, Houdini?
Most of my works are created due to solitude also. When I'm alone or in the presence of my wife, I am able to design and tinker with new ideas or improve upon old ones. I am able to delve into the mysteries of past illusions and add new elements to awe my myriad admirers. However, with the passing of my mother, much of my time in solitude has also been spent with mediums and psychics. However, those incompetent fools are nothing but phonies. They prey on the helpless, adding nothing but more sadness to broken souls. Desartes, how has solitude helped you in your experiences?
At age 38, I moved to the Netherlands, and aside from my daughter and her mother, I lived alone. Though I was not alone physically because they both lived with me, I was alone in spirit and in mind. Philosophizing and writing theories for over 20 years, I even changed my address multiple times to remain in isolation. I was the first to stray away from the traditional scholastic Aristotelian philosophies, so not many people agreed with my thoughts. I was especially refuted by members of the Catholic Church. Because of this rejection, I spent most of the time alone with my thoughts. Michelangelo, how has your time alone furthered your art?
My first great works while in solitude were just sketches I made in journals. I was supposed to be studying grammar with a humanist. Yawn. Instead, I was recreating sketches of murals I saw on the sides of churches. When I was just 21, I made my first sculpture, the Pietà. The people of the Vatican couldn't believe if a man as young as I could create such a sculpture.
What's a Panera?
The Vatican Pietà was my first great sculpture. It's of the Virgin Mary holding her dead son Jesus draped with a cloth. I got the idea from a French ambassador who asked me to create any sculpture I wanted of the Vatican Pietà. So I began thinking, what might it look like? When I finally arrived at St. Peter's Basilica, the place where the ambassador asked me to create the sculpture, I saw the marble, and in that moment I knew Mary was trapped in there, and it was my job to coax her out. After a year's hard work alone in solitude, I was finally finished. She awed the people of the Vatican.
My line of work deals with awing the people who come to see me with life-defying stunts. Without math formulas like Descartes, I might not have survived some of my stunts. Complicated math formulas are needed to precisely align parts for my dangerous tricks.
I too entertain people as a job. People came to my shows to listen to new and innovative music that either the bandleader or I had written. I didn't use sculptures like Michelangelo, but we both had perfected in art.
To that I agree. It took me years to be discovered and my career quickly took off from there. My time discovering the spirits, though, were rather challenging. The only way to contact my mother now is through the spirits.
The spirits? Huh, I've only heard
The
such
atrocities
bullshit.
some people have. Without the spirits, none of us would be able to contact our deceased family and friends.
How can you be sure the spirits even exist? My philosophies are all based off of indubitable facts, things I know to be true.
I may not have proof of the spirits, as this world is full of nothing but frauds, but one day I will find a real medium, one who can bring me to my mother.
Oh please, you can only prove that the idea of spirits exists.
Well, without the spirits, how would I be able to make a full-grown elephant disappear on stage? How would I be able to escape a wooden box nailed shut and flung into an icy river?
I am a philosopher, not a magician. The human mind is easily deceived. Your audience could not have been that hard to trick.
What the eye sees, the mind believes.
Like how I see what I craft in sculpture before I even start.
We share similar thoughts.
Really? How so?
I hear the music inside of my head a little bit how you see the people trapped in the marble.
Like how I saw David in that shattered marble, where all those before me tried and failed to do. to do what I did, and I helped him emerge.
Either way, my art is greater than yours.
Lies!
Explain to me how something as meaningless as a sculpture is greater than jazz music.
A sculpture will be marveled at for all time, whereas music ends, or at least songs do. They get replaced by some new hot single by some new artist. Take the Biebs, for example. No one cares about him anymore, whereas a sculpture will be there for all time.
Do you realize you're talking about jazz? Jazz is a form of music that can't be replaced by some pointless artist such as Justin Bieber.
Guess you could be right about some things, like how JB is pointless.
Some people don't know any of your art. The Panera, the Pieta isn't a very well-known piece of art.
Have you ever been to Rome?
No.
Well, there you go. Everyone in Rome knows my art, because that's where I created it. You know the expression, when in Rome, see all of Michelangelo's beautiful creations.
I don't believe that is the expression. The expression is, when in Rome, do as the Romans do.
That's not the point. The point is, everyone knows of my work because it's been there for years.
Everyone in the world knows of my work. I've recorded overseas as far as Japan. Let's get the opinion of another great mind. Renee, which art form do you prefer?
Both art forms are merely sensory perceptions. I cannot choose a favorite among two entities that I do not know to really exist.
I think that music is better than sculpture. Sorry, Michelangelo, but I have to agree with Coltrane. However, creativity is the true form of art that benefits us all.
Because we can all be creative at some point. Me, more than you.
Creative? Ha! People say what is to be created. Only my tricks are truly creative.
How could either of you be creative? You both do things that will always be forgotten.
Really? My work is still remembered because it's the originals, where I made it. Can we see or hear an original performance from either of you?
You can see my great upside-down straitjacket escape on video. Who else have you seen do that?
And you can listen to all of my music, even the first pieces I recorded when I was in the Navy.
Everyone settle down. We all use creativity in our own ways, either to benefit us individually or to benefit a group.
Creativity does benefit us all, but how does your creativity benefit us, Renee?
My creativity has helped us by creating math formulas to calculate things that we
Really despise.
never would have been able to figure out in the first place. For example, without my imaginary numbers, many innovations in engineering never would have been made.
The same can be said for the hours I spent solving engineering problems for my escapes.
Well, who can you thank for
Wait,
that?
I have a great idea.
What is it?
What?
We should open an art gallery / performance hall. We can have my work being shown while John's music played for those who want to see my art and the background music. We can have you doing your magic for those who want to see it, and Renee trying to debunk your magic. We can call it the Hall of Minds.
That's a great idea. Well, I must be off to write some music for this hall.
Fantastic plan. I too must go and imagine a new escape.
Spectacular idea. I guess I'll go figure out the formulas I'll need to expose that magician.